Self-improvement is supposed to make your life better. Wake up earlier. Go to the gym. Read more books. Stop wasting time. Build discipline. Work on yourself. And maybe you've done all of that. You stopped drinking. You stopped chasing people. You stopped scrolling for hours. You started building a future. But something happened that nobody warned you about. It got quiet. The friends you used to spend time with don't call as much. The conversations you used to enjoy suddenly feel empty. The places you used to belong don't quite feel like home anymore. And now you're stuck in this strange place. Too different for your old life, but not yet part of your new one. And if you've been sitting in that space wondering, why does becoming a better person feel so lonely? I want you to stay with me, because I don't think loneliness is a sign that you're failing. I think sometimes it's proof that you're changing. Here's something we rarely think about. Self-improvement isn't just changing your habits. It's changing your identity. An identity isn't built alone. It's built inside groups. The people around you know you as a certain version of yourself. The one who stayed out late. The one who complained with them. The one who avoided hard things. The one who laughed at the same jokes. Then one day, you decide you want more. You start saying no. No to distractions. No to bad habits. No to things that keep you small. And suddenly, you don't fit the role anymore. Psychologists have found that humans have an incredibly deep need for belonging because, historically, social rejection threatens survival itself. Your brain still treats losing connection as something dangerous. Nature plus one. So when you start changing, your brain often experiences that change as loss. Not because growth is wrong, because leaving familiar people behind hurts. I think this is the hardest stage. Not the beginning, not the success, the middle. You have stopped being the old version of yourself, but the new life hasn't arrived yet. Old friendships feel distant. New friendships haven't formed. You stopped chasing validation, but you haven't learned how to fully validate yourself yet. It's like standing on a bridge. Behind you is the life you've outgrown. In front of you is the life you're trying to build. And for a while, you belong to neither. I think that's why so many people quit. Not because discipline is hard, because isolation is hard. Online, thousands of people describe this exact experience. You've outgrown your old patterns but haven't fully grown into the new ones yet. Nobody prepares you for that part. Have you ever noticed this? You sit with people you've known for years. The conversation is the same. The gossip, the complaining, the endless cycle of talking about change but never doing anything. And suddenly, you feel disconnected. Not because you're better than them, because you're becoming different. Growth changes what stimulates you. The things that once felt exciting stop feeling meaningful. The problem is that this can create a painful illusion. You start thinking, maybe nobody understands me anymore. Interestingly, neuroscience research suggests lonely individuals often feel like they process the world differently from the people around them. Their internal experience genuinely feels out of sync with others. Maybe you're not imagining it. Maybe you actually are seeing life differently now. And that difference can feel incredibly isolating. Years ago, loneliness usually meant physical isolation. Today, you can feel lonely while surrounded by thousands of people online. You open Instagram. Someone is building a business. Someone got engaged. Someone bought a house. Someone is traveling the world. And while you're sitting alone, try to become someone better. It feels like everyone else already figured it out. Research suggests that social comparison can intensify feelings of loneliness and dissatisfaction because our brains naturally measure our social standing against others. The truth is, you're not seeing their loneliness. You're seeing their highlights, the quiet nights, the doubt, the sacrifices, the relationships they outgrew. None of that gets posted. I want to offer you a different way to look at this. What if the loneliness isn't punishment? What if it's evidence that your life is reorganizing itself? Think about a forest after a fire. For a while, everything looks empty, destroyed. silent. But underneath the ground, new roots are forming. The old ecosystem had to disappear before the new one could exist. I think self-improvement works the same way. You lose habits. You lose routines. Sometimes you lose people. Not because growth requires suffering, but because you cannot build a new life while carrying every part of the old one. And here's something fascinating. Research suggests that the way people think about being alone significantly shapes whether they experience solitude as painful loneliness or as meaningful reflection. Maybe this season isn't empty. Maybe it's preparation. I want to leave you with this. If working on yourself has made you feel lonely, it doesn't necessarily mean you've lost your people. It might simply mean you've outgrown a chapter, and chapters are supposed to end. The strange thing about growth is that it often gets quiet before it gets beautiful. The gym sessions nobody sees, the nights you stay in, the habits you build, the invitations you decline, the mornings you choose discipline over comfort. It can feel like you're walking alone, but maybe you're just walking ahead. And one day, you'll look around and realize that the people walking beside you now are people you never could have met if you had stayed who you were. If this video found you at the right time, send it to someone who's quietly trying to become a better version of themselves. And if you're building a life that sometimes feels lonely, subscribe. This channel is for people who are growing through the parts nobody talks about. I'll see you in the next one.